Hey, what's going on everyone? How you guys doing today? Welcome back to the next YouTube video. And today we're going to be talking about rockets. They just got a big buff, so today we're going to talk about what are the best perks that you should be looking for on your rocket launchers and how to just get the most damage out of them. Get the most bang for your buck when it comes to damage for the rockets. Especially some of the new ones, since there's a new perk that's pretty good for the rockets. But anyways, let's not waste any more time. Let's just get right into it. Okay, so the very first thing that we're going to start with is probably a perk that a lot of people kind of overlook and just kind of forget about, and that is impact casting. This one is kind of a small one, you know, when it comes to maximizing your damage. What impact casting does is that it increases your damage on the right hits. So whenever you hit an enemy directly, you're going to be doing more damage if you have impact casting. So I would always recommend that you look for impact casting whenever you check your rolls, just to get a bit of extra damage. It's not really a must-have perk, but it's just a nice little extra bit of damage. Okay, so now let's actually get into some of the big boy perks. And the first one that I want to talk about is auto-loading holster. You know this one, whenever you put your weapon away, it automatically gets reloaded. A lot of rockets have really slow reloads, so this one is amazing for not having to reload. You could fire your rocket, put it away, continue doing damage with whatever else you're doing damage, with your sniper, with your shotgun, and then pull out your rocket, fire it again, then put it away, and then just continue to do damage. So auto-loading just makes it so you don't really have to waste any time reloading your rocket, especially with the really slow reload speeds. Another perk that's also really good is fuel prep, which is going to increase your ammo reserves, meaning that you're going to be able to carry more rockets, you're going to have faster reload, and ready up speed whenever you're crouching, which sounds kind of situational, but it actually gives you a pretty nice boost to your reload speed when crouching. But the main reason we use fuel prep would be for the increased reserves, just so we can have more rockets. More rockets, more DPS, and that's just what we're kind of looking for. With fuel prep, you can actually push your rocket reserves pretty high, like to a point where you didn't even expect it, like 8 or 9 rockets, which is pretty good. So the next thing we're taking a look at is Ambitious Assassin, and this one's pretty great because it lets us overflow our magazine. So instead of getting just 1 rocket in our mag after getting a kill, we put in 2 rockets. So this is pretty good if you need to do some quick burst damage. If you don't really have time to reload or wait for auto-loading holster, you can use get a kill, reload, put 2 rockets in, and the next time you need it, you can just fire off those 2 rockets quickly. So Ambitious Assassin is definitely very useful and fun for burst damage. So these are the perks that a lot of you guys are going to be looking for. These are the perks that are actually just straight up going to give you more damage. So here they are. The first one is cluster bombs. This allows the rocket to make cluster bombs when it hits something, and the cluster bombs do extra damage. So you just get a little bit extra damage out of the cluster bombs. It's not super consistent, but it is extra damage. The next perk is a little bit more consistent, and it also rolls in the new rocket side of this season. It's called Lasting Impression. This allows rockets to attach to a target on impact, and after a short delay, it detonates with a bigger blast radius and also increased damage. And the increased damage is actually no joke. You get a quite noticeable increase in damage. So even though it doesn't blow up right on impact, I think the delay is worth it for the extra damage. Especially if you don't really have like a time constraint or a small window to do damage, then Lasting Impression might be the best perk that you can actually use on rockets. Not only because of the extra damage, but also because of the bigger blast radius. So Lasting Impression is probably what most of you guys are going to be looking for, if all you're looking for is just to increase your damage. And the final perk we're taking a look at today is kind of like in the middle of Cluster Bombs and Lasting Impression. Like, I don't think it does as much damage as Lasting Impression, but it's definitely more consistent and you're going to get more damage out of it than Cluster Bombs. And that perk is called Frenzy. And what Frenzy does is that whenever you're in combat, you'll get a damage increase after a short while, and the damage increase goes away once you're out of combat and all the enemies are dead. So whenever you're in combat, you just have some extra damage. It's not a big increase in damage, but I think that it's pretty good. I definitely think that it's more consistent than something like Cluster Bombs. So definitely do not dismiss this perk. This perk can actually be pretty good, but is it as good as Lasting Impression? Probably not. So to summarize this whole video, impact casting is good, fuel prep is good, and any of the damage increasing perks in the rocket are pretty great. That's pretty much what you want to run, and then you're gonna be doing some crazy damage with the rockets. The rockets do already some pretty good damage even without any of these perks, but when you start throwing in some of these perks, man, the rockets start doing some really good damage. But anyways, with that, we're gonna end today's video. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. If you guys think that I should have mentioned a perk that I didn't, definitely tell me in the comments below. Anyways, thank you all for watching today, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Take care everyone, have a good rest of your day. See you next time.